Yum, 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 yum.
She smiles in front of her daughter, but Jo Elgarth is scared. She says the uncertainty over Brexit could endanger her child's life.
I want to know that if the worst is going to happen, if we are going to have interrupted supplies, it's not going to affect me as a mum and I won't notice. Or I get 3 months' worth of supplies up front now so that I know that whatever happens, I'm okay. Because the consequences of Nora not having her epilepsy meds is absolutely terrifying.
The same uncertainty is also taking a toll on businesses. Many workers at this steel factory in Wales say they voted to remain in the EU, but now they're just hoping for an exit that doesn't damage their business.
I'd love to see it go through, because in 2 weeks' time, if this gets voted down by Parliament, we're definitely heading towards that hard Brexit.
Logistics providers say no deal on Brexit could disrupt the flow of goods, including essentials.
It's 2018, it's the year that people dialed 999 because KFC ran out of chicken. And if that will happen, imagine what will happen if we start to see food or medical supply shortages.
Some of Theresa May's cabinet ministers have quit instead of supporting her draft deal, and there's speculation others might follow.
Why did you say no to that, Mr. Gove?
Yet she says she knows what the people want and she will deliver it.
They are looking to the Conservative Party to deliver a Brexit that works for the whole UK, a strong economy that keeps jobs safe and wages rising, and first-class public services we can rely on, an NHS there for all of us, great schools for every child, and the homes that families need. That is what the people we serve expect, and that is what we owe it to them to deliver.
But she's running out of support, and many fear failure to win approval for the draft deal could endanger not just May's government, but also the livelihoods of millions of people and even the lives of others. Mobin Nasir, TRT World.
And for more on this, Patrick Minford joins me now from Cardiff in the UK. He's a Professor of Economics at Cardiff University. Good to have you back on the program. You said recently that a deal isn't success in itself, that a bad deal is far worse than no deal. What are your thoughts now that the UK and the EU have this draft agreement?
Well, it's a very bad deal. This is the trouble. This is why there's so much opposition to it. Because basically it doesn't take us out of the EU single market or the customs union. It basically keeps us in it because of the whole problem of the Irish border, which is not really a problem. It could easily be solved. But I think it's been used by both Mrs. May and the EU to create what they call a very, very soft Brexit, which is really not a Brexit at all. And that's why everybody's so upset about it.
Well, Theresa May says this is the best deal for the nation. You mentioned that the Irish backstop was the sticking issue here. You say it's easy to solve. How would you solve it then?
Well, this is how it will be solved in practice, because I don't think there will be a deal. What will happen will be we will leave under WTO rules and trade like any other country around the world with the EU. And that will mean that there is a border with Ireland, but like all these borders these days, it won't be noticed by anybody because all the checks will be done by computer beforehand. And that will mean that there'll be no problem with the Irish border, just as there's no problem with many borders all around the world.
Of course, the sensitivities around the Irish border stem from the fractious history of that region in Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland. So they're the government wants to make sure that they don't further inflame those tensions. Isn't that a reasonable expectation, that they don't want to return to the bad old days where conflict reigned in that part?
Well, it's a useful excuse, but it's nonsense. There's a border now, but nobody would notice it. And if we go to no deal, you won't notice it then either, because we won't erect a hard border, and nor will they. It's all nonsense. The main point, Oscar, is that we need a deal that actually allows us to get rid of protection and to restore our own regulative systems in the UK. And although some businesses are saying, you know, they love this deal because it doesn't change anything, in the long run, that's a very poor attitude, because we need to get our own regulations for innovation. and we need to sign free trade agreements around the world for the good of the economy. So these businesses will be better off with a proper deal.
Yes, let's look at what some business leaders have had to say. The Rolls-Royce boss, Warren East, says politicians must support what he called this practical plan. BAE Systems chairman Sir Roger Carr says it's now about playing the cards they've been dealt rather than wishing for a better hand. Shouldn't then the Prime Minister be allowed to get on with it?
Well, these people, you know, Rolls-Royce and Airbus, they're not interested in Brexit anyway, because as far as they're concerned, it's just a nuisance to them and it takes away protection from Rolls-Royce. But actually, you see, what we want is freedom to set our own trade deals with the rest of the world. And this has got nothing to do with Rolls-Royce. And industry opposes this because they like protection. They like the rules set in Brussels because then they can talk to Brussels. But it's not good for the economy, and that is the problem. And that's why this deal won't be accepted by Parliament, because the Remainers think it's no good because we're half in and half out and we'll have no say. And the Leavers don't think it's leaving at all. And, of course, we need leaving for the good of the economy, to set our economy in a competitive state so we sign free trade agreements around the world and we get back our proper own regulations so our businesses are properly regulated in the interests of the British economy and not in the interests of the EU.
OK, we're still a long way to go in this Brexit saga. Patrick Minford in Cardiff, thank you as always.